What was the incident at your school? Easter egg hunt. In 1998, I think 5 people were injured. One had to be taken by helicopter to the hospital. I was never really sure of the specifics, but apparently some of the parents were trying to cheat and find eggs for their kids, instead of letting the kids do it themselves. This led to arguments and things got out of hand. Fortunately, no one died, and the school didn't ban Easter egg hunts, it just banned parents from it. The Great Easter Egg Hunt of '98. Newsworthy. Our robotics coach, FRC, is currently under investigation for embezzling over $30,000. Funny. Someone got a rubber dong from their secret Santa. Both were dudes. This was a party, during lunch, at school, with the whole class in attendance. No adult supervision. Long story short, it turned into a free-for-all game of dodgeball until it got stuck behind a TV mounted on one of the walls. And there it sat, for 2 years, until a teacher found it, during an open house for incoming freshmen. My freshman year of high school, 3 deer broke a window and ran around inside the school until a teacher chased them out. That teacher a legend. In class, someone asks me, "Did you hear about the bombs going off in school today?" No, moron, there aren't bombs going off in our school. As I say this, over the intercom we hear, "Please evacuate the school immediately and avoid all trash cans during your exit." Some seniors had put dry ice bombs in the big metal trash cans. We come out to police, fire trucks and bomb squads pulling up. One bomb goes off and the trash can shoots 20 feet in air. No one was injured. The seniors didn't get to participate in graduation. In grade 8, my buddy Vinny brought a pregnant rat to school and it spawned a bunch of rat babies in his locker. There were rats everywhere that year. Frickin' Vinny. New head of our elementary school turned out to be a convicted child predator. Someone set Mickey Mouse's tail on fire at Disneyland during a senior trip back in the 80s and got the school banned for like 20 years. My senior was the first time we were able to go back for grad night. Senior prank 2009. 4 boys, all teachers' kids, cut down all the trees next to the high school. They didn't cut them all the way down, though. They pretty much just cut them in half. Cameras caught everything. They ended up being arrested, suspended, and unable to participate in graduation. A girl got arrested in the middle of my senior history class for selling weed. Apparently, she dealt out of the handicap stall in one of the girls' bathrooms and hid her stash in the ceiling tiles. 2 pregnant girls, both probably around 7-8 months along at that point, found out they had the same baby daddy and duked it out in the hallway during passing period. My freshman year, a coach got a student pregnant. He was fired. My senior year, he was hired back because our football team needed him. A guy in my class had severe anger issues. We were pretty sure he was beating his girlfriend. Anyway, she broke up with him. Used to see him crying in class and in the hallways a lot, but no issues other than that to my knowledge. Then, she got a new boyfriend, one of his close football buddies. He lost his crap upon finding out. He immediately went to the class they were both in and tried to open the door, only to find that it was locked. So he punched through the security glass. His hand was cut up and bloody, but he still managed to open the door. Due to the quick thinking of the teacher, and his apparent sudden realization that he had royally fricked up, he stopped his rage and the administrators and police officers were there before he could hurt anyone. We still aren't really sure what his intentions were, but he was suspended and had to do court-mandated anger management classes. One of the math teachers was stealing those TI-83/84 calculators and selling them on eBay. In his defense, teachers don't get paid enough to have morals. Kid that sat behind me in math class brought a gun to school. Didn't shoot anybody. Not really sure if he intended to, but got caught after bragging about it. Either the time a cop shot a man with a gun as a bunch of students watched, or the time some moron spray painted "There is a bomb in the gym" on the outside wall. Bomb threat jokes were all the rage. We had a chicken pen at our school. Big fence around it, many chickens. We come to school one morning, and all the chickens have been beheaded, as well as a couple birds which have been stoned to death. Sophomore year, this tall, really strung out kid who I can best describe as a hybrid between a glam rocker and an emo kid was accused of getting into the locked bathrooms by the trophy case and finger painting with poop in said bathroom. Rumors also spread that he got the trophy case. People took pictures on their phones. Junior year, we kept having brush fires due to Florida being in a perpetual drought. People claimed they found used condoms and chocolate sauce on the baseball diamond, which was one of the evacuation areas. There was also the gang of freshman girls who were lighting trash cans on fire with those sparkler birthday candles, causing mass hysteria and interrupting one of my classes when they lit up one of the trash cans in our hallway. Finally, there was the bomb threat where a crane got hit by a school bus in front of at least 1,000 students while we were evacuating. The video spread like wildfire and the bomb threat was a senior prank. In our school the senior pranks are like, paint a 2-story tall poster of the principal that looks like the Obama Hope poster and hang it in the lobby. Everyone else is lighting their schools on fire or making bomb threats. My English teacher told me that some years before I was in her class she had this one kid who was tall and kinda big but he was quiet and never caused any trouble and did his work for the most part. Well, one day he comes in with his hand wrapped in bandages and when asked what happened he gave a non-committal answer. Flash forward a couple of weeks and the kid hasn't been in class for about 2 weeks and she asks the class where he is. All the kids get quiet and one kid pipes up he was arrested for beating and arping a girl. He is going to juvie. My science teacher Mr. B told me this. He had a student, a girl, who was a hard worker and had a good attitude and was well behaved, but within the span of a few weeks her grades began to drop and she began to act out and one day she blew up at another student. So Mr. B took her outside and asked her that before he wrote her up, is there anything going on that caused the outburst, because she was a good student and was smart, and she just broke down and told him that there was a dead body under her bed. Come to find out her mom had killed her, the mom's boyfriend, and hid him under the girl's bed and she had been sleeping with a dead body in her room for a couple of weeks. A girl got pregnant on the 8th grade trip to DC. 2 guys were smoking pot in a bathroom and somehow managed to set a toilet on fire. We had 3 bomb threats my freshman year. First one was some angsty crap, and the last 2 were just because we got out of class all day with the first. Specifically, that first one was legendary. The school had no plans or preparation for this event, so we all milled around the athletic field for 6 freaking hours. In elementary school, the incident was when this kid named Alex stuffed paper towels into a soap dispenser and lit it on fire in the bathroom. The whole school was evacuated and major crap was to follow. In middle school, the incident was a well-liked kid that most of us thought had it all, decided to commit suicide. It was very devastating to so many of us in the school and really brought home how you never really know what struggles the kid next to you is going through. In high school, the incident was that a semi-popular kid was regularly getting it on with a teacher. It wasn't well known, but was whispered about. A friend of my brother's leveraged this to his advantage, telling the teacher on the day of the final exam, "I think I got an A in this class, because I know about you and my friend, and I don't think you want anyone else to know." He got the A, and his friend got the D. Towards the end of the year, while everyone was at lunch, one special ed kid took another special ed kid, with less cognitive function, into the faculty lounge and abused her. She had bruises and bite marks and crap. Apparently similar things have happened to her before at past schools, and the guy had committed similar acts too. Instead of actually doing anything about it, his parents, or maybe the police, just kept moving him from school to school. It was really sad, and early on this year, when word got out about what happened and the news started reporting on it, about half the school decided to wear the girl's favorite colors one day and have a protest, demanding justice for her or something. School got cancelled that day. I haven't heard anything about the incident since, but that's the weirdest thing that's happened to me so far. That's really sad, actually. My junior year of high school, some girl got in a fight with another girl over a boy. They fought in the cafeteria and their friends joined and it quickly turned into a riot. Police came. One of the girls got tasered and parents were called. The kicker is all of the parents then went across the street to the gas station and started fighting before being arrested. Gee, I wonder where the kids learned their conflict resolution skills. Kid kept crapping in his hand and writing messages on the bathroom wall with it. You'd be in class and hear the North Corridor bathroom on the second floor is now off limits and you knew. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. There were a few, but I think the worst one was when the senior class prank, vandalism, was to put weed grass killer on the football field to create a giant dong. It could be seen on Google Earth for years. That's actually hilarious. Someone was making a M lab in their locker. Read this as math lab and thought you must have a really lame school for that to be the incident. Our business club was so enterprising they started counterfeiting money, resulting in the Secret Service showing up. This is freaking hilarious. Senior prank 2009. Someone put some fish fillies up in the ceiling of the administration building, except they did it before Christmas break instead of summer so it would rot for a week and then all the school staff would smell it when they got back. It took them months to figure it out since no one came forward to claim their deed. All the while about a third of the entire school student body has been suffering and breathing this dead fish aroma since the administration building is half offices, half art department and classrooms. It was terrible and the stench still haunts me. Senior pranks aren't even a thing at our school, Mayo. We did something similar. We took a water bottle and filled it with a bunch of food from lunch and milk. This thing was hidden in the library for months and every day one of us would go and get the bottle and let gas out of it so it wouldn't explode. It was the worst smelling thing ever. We threw it into the ceiling and it exploded 2 weeks later. History teacher shagged a sixth former on one of the classroom tables. We all knew which room, but not which table. Here's a hint. It was all of them. We had some older chap from town crawl into the ductwork and peer through the vents into the girls' locker room. I'm a teacher and currently trying to break down a rubber ducky black market ring. I teach high school. I have high schoolers about to graduate and go into college. The same students are buying, selling, and trading rubber ducks. The super popular elementary school science teacher getting arrested for child pornography. Everyone loved him and also I'm pretty sure his daughter was going to that school at the time. Something similar happened in my area but after I graduated, my 4th grade teacher got caught with child pornography. Right when he found out the police knew he went home and killed himself. I remember him being one of my favorite teachers growing up so it was pretty strange to hear about. Elementary school, whoever crap in the urinal, apparently not uncommon. Middle school, a kid thought it was funny to knock golf balls off the tee and pay as someone went into their backswing. After successfully fricking with almost everyone in class, the kid then took a 9-iron to the orbital bone when he did it too late. High school, our football coach fricked at least 3 members of the cheerleading squad, although this didn't get out until after he left. So I guess that time someone hijacked the construction equipment and did donuts on the main lawn. Somebody took a crap in someone else's backpack. We had a mock car crash, where the local fire department and other emergency services simulated what happened at a car crash to drive home the point of driving sober etc after prom and whatnot. We had the whole school watching, over 1,000 kids. One of the kids in my grade, early in the morning, took a crap in a bag and smeared it all over the windshield of the car. Later that day when they unveiled the car from under a tarp, the crap was everywhere and the whole crowd broke out into laughter. The mentally disabled kid went into an absolute rampage in lesson over someone sitting in his seat and the teacher had to get everyone out of the room and lock him in there while support staff were called to come get him. Unfortunately it was a science lesson and he had lots of expensive stuff to throw around whilst he was in there. Thousands of pounds worth of damage. We had 2 big ones. 1. A black kid running for senior class president claimed he received a bunch of racist text messages from someone telling him to drop out, including ones calling him the N-word. This was a predominantly white school. After a series of police investigations, news reports on local TV stations about the incident, and at least 5 different school assemblies on why racism is wrong, we found out over the summer that the kid sent the texts to himself. 2. The foreign languages taught at the school were Spanish, German, French, and Italian. We had exchange programs for every language except Spanish, and no one really knew why. Any teacher we asked would either claim ignorance of the reason or make up some excuse about financial constraints. Senior year, a bunch of us found out from a librarian that the year before our freshman year, some senior knocked up one of the Spanish girls who was part of the exchange program, and it was this whole scandal that basically ruined the school's reputation and prevented us from having any exchange program in Spain. The catch-22 hate crime. Kid 1 got the crap beat out of him in a fight that he picked. His rich parents sued the other kid in the school, citing that it was a hate crime because Kid 1 was gay. Well, it all came out that mom and stepdad were suing mostly because the alimony settlement from mom's first marriage was drying up. We're talking at least 5 mil. They figured going the hate crime route just about guaranteed a big payout from the school district. It also came out that Kid 1's father was a multimillionaire and an extreme homophobe. So, Kid either had to admit to being gay and be disowned by his millionaire father, no chance at the inheritance, or throw his mother under the bus and proclaim his heterosexuality. My junior year of high school was like a dang reality TV show. Our assistant principal was kind of a douche. To try and humiliate him, we bought a plastic dong and inscribed it with our school mascot and that if found please return to Mr. Douche. We then slipped it into the ice machine while in line for lunch. The cacophony was deafening when it was found. A lunchroom worker pulled it out with tongs and held it up and away from her, almost like she was displaying it for all of us to see. A coach who was watching the lunchroom saw the writing, and upon further investigation, he busted up and turned red. Quite the time. There was a riot. A bunch of kids painted loads of graffiti on the wall of the main building insulting the headmaster and various other teachers, so the school cancelled our graduation party. Consequently, once everyone's exams were finished, half the year, that is, about 100 people, went to various pubs and got drunk. Then some rabble-rousing took place and we all convened on the school to demand our party back. Things were thrown, windows were broken, the gates were shut, the police arrived, it made the newspapers, etc. You can go back over our school's exam statistics and see the percentage of pupils who got good grades in their A-levels English high school leaving exams. If you scan down the years, there's one very noticeable outlier. We were a bunch of little shoots and that was the culmination. Good times. High school teacher started to become obsessed with one of my friends. He started calling her at all hours of the night, completely drunk, asking her to come over, etc. Eventually she had to call the police. Fast forward a couple days later, 3-4 police officers roll up on this teacher during one of his classes and arrest him in front of everyone. He was never seen again. When I was a junior, a classmate attempted suicide because his senior girlfriend broke up with him due to her going to college out of state and knowing it wouldn't work out for them. She did it in November because she didn't really see the point of stringing it along for another few months. She got so much hate for it. I felt awful for her. Freshman year, the senior prank was streaking. Only one guy did it when there was supposed to be at least a dozen, and it was not a good look. Midway through sophomore year, we realized our US history teacher's wife had been one of his students and they had started dating when she was 20 and he was still married. A girl stopped running in the middle of play and pulled her tampon out and threw it on the ground. She also refused to pick it up and teachers had to grab it. She was already the weird girl, but God did that to make it worse. Someone was writing messages on the walls of the boys' bathrooms and human crap. This went on for months because they were trying to figure out who had been excused from class each time this happened. But that didn't work because it turned out it was 2 people alternating crap smearing duties, so the other one would have an alibi. There was a goddamn crap smearing conspiracy, WTF. This is the goodest flyboy. He will bring you 10 years of happiness in exchange for a like on this video. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.